Like, someone's holding me there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You choke you like that one.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've gotten choked. Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Friends Since 1998. I'm Ell, and
I'm Jon.
So we're gonna do this new podcast.
Yes.
Why?
We are going to record ourselves talking to each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully have it not leak. No, wait. We're going to post it online.
We're gonna have it leak, but hopefully no secrets of ours that will lead us into trouble and not get us voted into parliament.
I'm in 100 Telegram groups with you.
Are you
I think
certain?
so, yeah. Later we can check.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
We actually have a lot of different Telegram groups for every single occasion.
Yeah.
And now we have a new one, which is this particular podcast where we're hoping to not just talk with each other, but hopefully with some of our friends, go through the memories throughout the years, have some sort of archive.
A lot of memories actually. In the preparation for this podcast,
True.
I had to look back to, prepare for the set. A lot of memories to go through. Some of which we'll talk about today.
Yep. I mean, this set it looks like this today, but it's still gonna change.
I like my fake
and
plant.
evolve over time.
Yeah.
I do like fake plants. They don't give the smell of earth, which I'm not a big earth smell guy.
Okay, I think you're going to say you're not a big fan of earth. Yeah.
No, huge fan of earth.
Yeah.
Huge fan of earth. I do recycle, but fake plants are better than real plants in my opinion. So we're gonna hopefully do this podcast so that we can have a creative outlet for ourselves, do something at the workspace, and honestly, I think we've been talking about this for the longest time.
Yeah.
So
we've been talking for the longest time.
we've been talking for the longest time, and we wanted to put those things to something at some point because we have a lot of insane conversations. So this is just another way for us to go about it.
And another way to write this off as a business expense.
You're right. Putting all your memories in a memory jar as a business expense.
Yeah.
Corporate idea. I like this board because it reminds me of what we need to talk about.
Oh, yes.
And today's episode is about the start of our friendship and really tracing it back right to the damn roots. Okay, so primary school, we went to Maris Stella Primary.
Yeah.
And that's when we first knew each other. Got embezzled by the same principal.
Yes.
It was excellent times.
So, I mean, in primary school, you kind of know of everyone. Right?
Yeah.
So you know everybody's name, you look at the index. So I think
We're in an all-boys school. It's very easy to know everyone.
it's very easy.
Boys are just, I don't know how to say it, but in an all-boys school, you just mingle with everyone.
Yeah. Boys are very social.
Very you want to play games together, you'll play games together. There's no real cliques.
It's quite nice actually. It's almost a blind innocence.
Yeah. Because everyone laughs at the same shit.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets about the exact same shit the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like you can, poop your pants on one day, and next day everything's chill.
But then you shouldn't laugh when your friend poop their pants because you might be asked to help them clean up. Right?
It's a great story. I actually laughed at. I'm so sorry, man. I have to put this on air. But I had a classmate of mine, and one day we're in an air-conditioned classroom by this point in time because they moved us into the new building, right? And he poops his pants in the middle of class, and the teacher is like, "Hey, do you smell that?" And then my friend raises his hand and says, "Oh, sure. I share myself." And me, being the dumbass that I am, I stand up and I point it and I go, "Wow!" Which in retrospect is terrible, but back then it was so funny to me.
Oh, is that funny? Yeah.
I couldn't control it and my teacher was like, "All right, Elliot, since you laugh so hard, you go help him clean." And I was like, "Oh, damn it." But in the end, we became pretty good, close friends because of that as well, me and this fella. I won't put you on blast, don't worry, dude.
I feel like it's the other thing about all boys school, right? You tend to go through all this. They call it trauma these days, but I call it experiences. Right?
The trauma bonding of it is
Trauma bonding, yeah.
very real. But we actually did a lot of that in primary school because, we kind of know each other. We're in very different circles back then.
Yeah.
But there's no how to say, everyone kind of just says, "Oh, that's my friend John," or that's my friend so and so. It doesn't really matter.
So I think in this day and age, when you say, "Oh, do you know someone?" people say like, "Oh, I know of them."
I know of.
But I think back then you just know the person. Is it? I know Ell.
We generally know people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we generally know people. And it was hard because our class had like 6 or 7 Jonathans.
Yeah, we had 6 Jonathans. I was one of 6 Jonathans.
One of 6 Jonathans.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of know every single Jonathan because there are 6 Jonathans.
Actually, it was a lot harder on you. There was only one Elliot in the class.
Yeah, and no one can pronounce my name correctly as well. Yeah, so it was nice. Just the fact that we kind of were in different areas, I would say, like of school life. I know for you, your mum is like more active with school, whereas my mum is like totally bochap. Just like, hey man, you go live your life. You go do your thing, you stay after school.
Yeah.
Kick balls around, as in like soccer balls.
Yeah.
To be fair, in a boys' school, you kick all kinds of balls.
Yeah. Basketballs.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I always felt like we were not, we didn't really cross paths as easily in primary school.
You were sharing how my mom was involved.
Yep.
And so I remember you shared with me this story that you always saw like, oh wow, it's so nice, like, you know, all the parent volunteers. And then on my end, right, I was like, oh, it's so nice. Elle gets to just run freely, play ice and water or wrestling.
This is the story of Madagascar. You know, the animals are in the zoo, they're like, man, the outside world is awesome. And then I'm the bird on the outside going like, damn, I wish I was taken care of in the zoo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Madagascar ripped us off.
Madagascar was based on a true story.
I see.
We just didn't file for royalties. But that's just benevolent of us.
Yeah. I'm coming for you, David Schwimmer.
Is David Schwimmer in that? Oh yeah, he's the voice of the giraffe, I think.
Yeah.
It's a fun facts. I'm so glad that we're doing this podcast because then I get to drop fun facts for fun.
Yeah.
And I'll remember them next time because I'll rewatch this and I'll be like,
No knowledge is useless.
No knowledge is useless, as we like to say. Yeah.
So we found the bulk of our memories in secondary school. I think not even the early secondary school days, probably like later half.
End of Sec 2. Makes more sense.
I only have 2 memories of you in Sec 1, which are really dumb. The first one is, I think your class came out with this thing called the $1 song or something.
Wait, what?
You kept coming up to me and saying $1, $1.
Oh my god. Dude, I know this, and the worst part is I didn't remember it until you just said it. Like, because we don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows, right? We don't actually go through a script before and discuss like what we're gonna talk about in this. We just come in like free flowing this shit. So the fact that you said a $1 song, I was thinking to myself, no way, this confirmed not me.
Yeah. I know, right?
But it's
I think it was like Sec 1 cam or something like that, and you're
low one.
yeah. That and one time like I was at Pai. Okay, so we used to hang out at Pai there, because we used to play Magic the Gathering at this place called Soulcraft, and I used to eat Long John Silver.
I love Long John.
And one day you found a really good deal for peach tea, Mocha peach tea, which is not the sponsor of this podcast yet.
Not yet.
And then you came to me in Long John Silver. I was like, hey, there's 2 bottles for like $150.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, thanks, dude. Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. That's my only 2 memories of you in Sec 1.
Because at that age, I was a big because of the kind of life I lived, right, where my mom lets me just like kind of run free, do whatever I want. The only thing that she did restrict me was like buying bottled drinks. Like I didn't really have a lot of exposure to like Pokka, green tea lah, Coke lah. It's always like I was a water kid.
Yeah.
Grew up on water. And then in secondary school, my mom was like, hey, actually, you know what? It's totally okay lah to drink these things. And I was like, okay, cool. And I became a huge advocate then for Pokka, peach tea, green tea, iced lemon tea. I was like, dude, this thing is awesome.
To be fair, that was the year where Pokka kind of had its like revolution with its like, I think it had passion fruit tea, blueberry tea, strawberry tea.
Yeah, man. No, and it's also because in primary and secondary school for us, we actually didn't get drinks in our canteen.
We had in primary school.
But
it was short-lived.
Yeah. Because after that, they moved strictly to 100 plus and some other thing that I don't drink.
100 plus.
It was 100 plus.
100 plus.
Yeah. Man, it really shows our age when you know that the old school vending machines for drinks, because you don't have like stores and stuff, right? Literally a cup will drop, fill it with ice, and you pray and hope that a carbonated drink falls into it. Seawater or flat water.
Yeah.
And it says 100 plus. But it was 40 cents lah, so like you can't really complain about it.
Shout out to Zesty Zapple.
Oh yeah, there was a time when they had Zesty Zapple. Didn't have it.
Yeah.
So that was secondary school. A lot of our bonding is there, but mostly playing Dota.
Yes. Oh, and hanging out, right? I think we were discovering music together.
True.
Discovering okay, so I didn't go out a lot as a kid, right? So my mom was like, oh, I just come home or maybe I like go to Playdates bar on the way home, right? But then I think like, as I got to know you, and I think if I can be very honest, right, one of the stupid reasons why we got close is because we were very free. So there was this period of time, like, I think like during the December holidays in Sec 3 and Sec 4, right, we just hang out. We take a bus to Paya Lebar.
Do nothing.
We do nothing. And in the process of doing nothing, I think we're doing something meaningful.
No, I agree. I wonder how many kids do nothing today together.
You can't do nothing because you have a smartphone. If you're not doing anything with your friend, you're doing something else with your phone. You're never doing nothing with a friend.
True. I just remember for us, it was a lot of, because our parents generally like us being around the house. Like they don't like us going out all the time. But and my mom in particular, she didn't like me hanging out in like malls and stuff.
Same.
She liked me hanging out with my friends in my house. So she'd be like, yeah, bring your friends over anytime, And that's how we had this routine, and it still lasts till today, where you just go to someone's house and noir.
So I didn't know that was not a thing till I got older and I met other people outside of a friend going, it's like, why you see your friends like once a week? And I'm like, you don't? You got a friend?
Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
Insane. I think it's very important, like, to be able to be comfortable doing absolutely jack all with your friend. Yeah.
And then after doing jack all, while doing jack all, we thought of things to do.
Yeah, and then we ended up doing stuff. And then, I mean, that's how we end up here today, doing our business.
You end up doing a bunch of dumb things.
Yeah, and then continue to do that all the way to your 30s, man.
Hey, man, I'll do it till my 60s.
That's crazy. Yeah. What is this?
Okay, so. Oh, wow. Okay, I know when this is. Okay, so I have a different picture.
I know exactly when that is. That's an insane one. And so our producer Nira here, we sent her a bunch of our photos and asked her to rank what she thinks is the craziest stories from like most intense to least intense.
So I think this is the most.
This is quite intense, and I want to say that we're like 17 or 16 here.
I think definitely I was in poly. So like 17 at least.
17 at least, okay. This is me. I'm sleeping in a yellow construction hat. I'm wearing a towel on my head because it's a hot day. And I have a sign that says, I think it says we'll dance for money or something close in that regard. It's very blurred. Okay, you must understand, right? When we took pictures, this picture in particular, it's not with a handphone camera, I believe.
It was with a...
It's with a very ugly old camcorder digicam. Little foldable thingy.
Yeah. It's camcorder digicam.
It's so bad. So the megapixels is like 1.
Yeah. It was not made for.
I'm glad we still have it. So that's John and me. So John's in the middle, and his sign says, "Please donate." It says, "Please donate." Okay, so the idea back when we were kids was, do we think we could make money on the streets dancing?
Yes.
We wanted to be able to live a day on the street with no cash at all and see if we could get by.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the answer is that it's very hard.
The answer is so hard.
The answer is that it's so hard. We made $10.40 that day or something like that.
We made enough for a dinner.
We made enough for dinner. No, but the $10.40, right? $10 came from one guy. Like literally one guy in Katong was like, okay, dance.
Okay, to be fair, that's like 2008, right? So $10 fed 3 of us.
Oh yeah.
Like we all bought ban mian that
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ban mian was like $3 plus, $3.30 back then. So
yeah.
It was like we were trying so hard to get some cash.
Yeah.
We got like a couple of coins at the start from people who just thought it was a joke. And by then we were like, I kind of given up. We just walked back to Katong. We were about to use our own money. And then this guy, he knocks on the glass of some restaurant and he just does this like.
It's like, oh, will you dance?
Dance, yeah. He just looks at us, dance. Yeah. We start dancing.
Which
I think is ridiculous when you think about the image.
Yeah. It helped that it was probably a bar and he was like drinking.
Yeah, he's probably drinking in
yeah,
Katong.
So.
And then he said, here's $10. And you're like, yes, we could do this for the rest of our life.
Okay, so there was no reason why we did this. At this point of time, the word social experiment hadn't existed yet.
We didn't even do it as a social experiment.
No, it was just doing it.
We did this because we wanted to. And also I think because we had a construction helmet, so we thought it'd be funny to just like go out there and try to cosplay for a day. It really felt very cosplay-ish. I don't know why. Well, 2008.
Yeah, maybe 2007.
2007. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
2007, 2008.
Whereas that photo is a lot more recent.
Wow, this is I wanna say 2015. Is this your birthday?
It's my
This is
birthday.
your birthday in 2015,
No,
yeah.
this is my birthday in 2016.
2016.
It has to be 2016.
Okay, that's then.
The context I will always remember because 2016 is one of the worst years that John and I have ever lived.
Yeah.
It's the 1 year in our history of friends where we don't see each other.
We should celebrate that next year. 10 years from the
We'll
worst year.
save a special episode just to talk about 2016. We will save it for the 10-year anniversary of 2016.
The worst year of our lives.
The worst year of our lives. Or one of the hardest. Worst is such a harsh term, right?
Yeah.
But I think intense and certainly a life-changing year.
You're very challenging year.
Yeah. As Pritam would say, watershed year.
Watershed year.
Watershed year.
Context on this photo is we're gonna celebrate Elle's birthday. And usually we hang out at this mall called like Parkway Parade, because we're Easties, right? And then we see all these little kids riding these like animals.
Those it's like the go-kart animal thing.
It's like the motorbike animal thing. And then we're like, all these kids having so much fun. Why can't we? Right? We're like, we can race lah. All these kids so slow, confirm no driving license, so we can obviously beat them lah, right? So we all ran this, and then we just raced around Parkway lah. We didn't hit anyone. We didn't hit that many people.
You didn't hit anyone.
And I think we all chose animals that represent our personas.
What did I pick? I picked a monkey, is it? Yeah, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Riding a monkey.
I picked a zebra, I don't know why.
Chen picked Kung Fu Panda. He picked Kung Fu Panda. Wait, did he really pick Kung Fu Panda?
No, just Panda.
Oh, just
We don't have the rights to Kung Fu Panda.
What did Chin Wei take?
Don't know what he picked.
It's like a weird ass platypus.
Very him.
It's very
Yeah. So we're doing up our, Hardy Boys gang sign here.
Yeah. And just 4 of us for this one, I think.
Yeah. Actually, there are videos of this. I was just like POV riding around because
I believe we have some of those.
Right on down.
Like MotoGP.
Yeah.
Motocross. You need to touch the floor.
Yeah, it's like driving. You don't really need both hands to drive.
And this one was interesting because it has a speed limit, so it actually doesn't go very fast.
Yeah. I know you're trying to crank it out. Right?
Crank it up, yeah.
Speed limit.
There's a speed limit, but it was very fun. Okay, cool. So that's our 2 pictures from this era.
Wow.
Very different eras, same stupidity.
Tertiary army uni is kind of like one phase.
More or less.
Then our working adult life is another phase, right?
More or less. I think tertiary for me has so this is where we actually bifurcated, right? Or we split up. Because you went to Temasek Poly and I went to Meridian JC, which no longer exists.
You wanna explain bifurcate for Mingan?
Sorry. As in we went 2 separate ways. And we wanted to go to the same JC, coincidentally, because I think our scores are chaputo, about the same. I can't remember what happened. Maybe it's like a points thing.
I missed the 1 point. It was 9 for science and I was 1 point off.
Right. And you did your, I don't know where to do it still,
I did
PAE?
CJ.
Was it?
Yeah, so I did my first 3 months. That's how old we are. I did my first 3 months in CJ.
Yeah.
And then I remember the last day I was telling my friend, I was like, see ya dude, never gonna be back here. And then he was like, yeah, see ya dude, never gonna be back here. And the next day we were both back there. I was like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know, here lor. Yeah, so anyway, then you went to MJ.
I went to MJ, you went to Temasek Poly. And I think this to me is the most critical part of our friendship. As in, to me, this is one of the most significant ones because, number one, it's not by coincidence that you meet up anymore.
Yes.
Now it's you literally have to make the effort to find the person.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
so
close.
intentional.
It's very intentional.
Yeah.
And mind you, we didn't even meet at TP or MJ.
No.
We went all the way to Serangoon.
SRJC.
We went to SRJC to meet another friend of ours. But because of the intentionality of our friendship, which I think says a lot to how much we really wanted to hang out, is that we would travel from our respective schools, wait at Kovan MRT for our friends to meet up, and then we eat economical rice. Do you remember eating Hapli?
Hapli, dude.
Hapli was the shit. Yeah.
Shout out to Sweet Talk.
Yeah.
Best honey milk tea.
That's all we did. Like we would travel there. I would say very often, like couple times a week.
And it's so crazy because actually we're part of a much larger boy group, right? But somehow a boy group is a boy group of friends, not like a band, you know. But
We went in multi directions.
yeah, not one.
Not one. Yeah.
But only two of us would do this.
Yes.
After school, maybe twice or thrice a week, we'd go to Coburn just to hang out. And if I were to think of our tertiary time, right, it wasn't like one big event. It was just a lot of small moments that
Many
kind of built up a friendship.
Exactly. And that's why to me it's like this is a huge part of our bonding. It's doing absolutely nothing together in a place where you kind of just want to meet up with someone else.
Yeah.
And we end up doing what? We go to the arcade, maybe just play, like I love playing para
Para.
as a kid, right? And we just do that.
I
Like,
played the Pharaoh one. You know the Pharaoh game?
oh yeah. It's like a tomb
Shooting.
of the pharaoh or something like that.
Yeah.
We ended up shooting mummies and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. Like, as in, it wasn't to play para. I never go there just to play the game.
Why would you?
Yeah, we literally went there just to sub.
Yeah.
It was very sub moments. We just hang out, and after we're done,
And I think the crazy part about that phase of life, right, is that you're actually going to, all people at that age are going through a lot of change, right? So after O levels, we split up schools.
Yeah.
2-3 years after this, we have major life event. We go to NS. Then 2 years, we go uni again. So there's a lot of like, I would say life events that could really shake up the friendship.
Oh yeah, and I think it was also really important because despite having very different tracks in life, back then when someone goes to JC and someone goes to poly, the perception of the track of life that you're on is so completely different from what it is today.
It's
now
crazy.
it's very similar. Like going to poly is a legit route to uni, and like going to JC is also not say like, oh, I'll definitely go to uni. You know, there's other things you will do in life after that, just because of the flexibility of it all. But back then it was like we never knew where we were going to end up.
I think I was just lucky Jack Neo didn't make a film about poly lah. If not, the whole reputation would be ruined for years, dude.
Yeah, and because of that, we got to share a lot of interdisciplinary sort of like knowledge with each other.
Yeah.
You were in like marketing in TP, right? In business school, and I was trying to focus on literature
And for Talk Club.
and photography.
Yeah.
So like the kinds of things that we were doing were nowhere overlapping. Aside from Dota, which we continue to do.
Theoretically, nothing of our life.
Nothing of our lives, and yet I remember very clearly us talking about all our subjects in school, what we were learning. I was sharing with you like I was learning economics back then also as a subject, and we would be able to talk about it very loosely and share that knowledge with each other. So the basis of things that you found interesting about organizational behavior. Right? Like it was a thing you were very passionate about back in
Still am.
in Temasek Poly.
Yeah.
I was like, I would listen to it and I'm like I felt very enlightened. I felt very much like entrenched in lifelong learning at an early age.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. That to me is a very rare and special thing that I cherish about our friendship.
I can't pinpoint a memory. There's so many, right? But I can't pinpoint a memory that like solidifies the friendship, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
You bought me a bag for
Uni.
For it might be a birthday or for Christmas or something.
Yeah.
And I remember this note where you say something like, you once said our friendship is like a million different things that come together. It's like a patchwork kind of bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember this?
I know this. Oh my god, I had totally forgotten this. Yes. This is the year you go to Japan and you buy me that DS game, which is not a DS game.
Yes. It's not a DS game.
Yeah.
So it has to be, I'm probably 17 or 18 at this point.
Yeah.
And this was one of those years where I remember, and you reminded me of me saying that, where I'm like, yes, our friendship really is not just made out of one big event or trauma bonding over like, one massive bad thing that happened. It's really just small ups and downs, mostly ups.
Yeah.
And when it solidifies, you look back at it, it's like, this pastiche of little things, and it all adds up. I feel like that's what makes a good friendship in general.
And I think it's safe to say that after that, our paths didn't really cross again, right? So You went to NS at a different time. I went to NS at a different time. You went to NUS. I went to NTU. Even when we started working, but somehow we continued to hang out, right? If you actually look at it on paper, we shouldn't be that close.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. When you went, I think you did your internship at MediaCom.
Yeah, MediaCom,
Yeah, that was like one of the times where we would still find time to hang out.
We'll still find time to hang out, even though it was 2016.
And it was 2016. I was knee deep in doing a bunch of YouTube stuff. And the schedule for working in the media field is all over the place. You never know when you have a shoot. You never know when a place will let you shoot. You never know when you get a new client who wants to come in.
I remember you had like 2-3 a.m. nights at like Universal Studios. Do you remember that one?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So-
Not just once. If I had a penny for every single time I shot overnight at Universal Studios, I have 2 pennies, but that's still a lot, a lot more than I would have imagined.
Yeah.
Very, very intense times.
That's crazy.
And yet, I think it goes to show when you invest in a good friendship and relationship, like wow, it really can stand the test of time.
And so I know we jumped around like uni and work and that kind of stuff, right? But it's just so...
It's very amalgamated. It's very amalgamated.
It's quite crazy. We have to explain these photos now, okay? Okay. Wow. I am very excited to explain this one. So I have this one.
Oh, this one is awesome.
I can explain this if you want.
Dude,
you can explain
please,
if you want.
please explain this one. I love this one.
So this is 2010 for sure. Because it's the year of the Youth Olympics. And Ell and I are very passionate about flying kites. Our fathers used to tell us when we were kids, go fly kites.
Go fly kites, son.
So we're very passionate about flying kites. And they didn't make the Youth Olympics that year. So we petitioned along Orchard Road to have extreme combat kite flying in the Olympic Games.
I think we were fans of both the X Games and the Olympics.
Yeah, no, but actually it's a childhood game. My mom used to fly kites with powdered glass on the string and like cut other strings.
Oh yeah.
Kite
flying.
But we wanted this to be urban because Singapore was an urban city.
Yes, and the Youth Olympic Games in particular had no urban sports at this point in time.
That's true. Not like today, right?
Not like today, where everything is
It's the Youth Olympic Games. Sorry. Yeah, but so we made a plan to go to town, Orchard Road, just in front of Takashimaya, and fly kites. Yeah.
And we gathered quite a crowd. We tried to get signatures, but I don't think anyone really wanted to sign for a sport.
Except
the Nando's.
Shout
out to Nando's.
Shout out to Nando's. So this was Nando's first month in Singapore, and they were like, "What are you guys doing?" And mind you, this is a time where like Facebook, like it's not a big thing, right? So they're like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Like, "Oh, we're doing this extreme combat. We're super passionate about sports." Like, "Oh, can we invite you to eat in our restaurant? All you have to do is like take a photo and like with our Nando's chicken and sure."
Yes.
This is the first.
And we got a free Nando's meal out of it.
The first ever sponsorship.
I think this is probably my first ever sponsorship as a human being.
We got free Nando's, and I think we're still on the Facebook page.
Yeah. The question is, where do we get that dope ass kite? Dude, look, if you look at the kite, it's actually quite sick.
It's a shark kite.
It's a shark kite.
Yeah. No.
It's not a basic ass kite.
I know why it's a shark kite actually, because we were listening to Bird Plane.
Oh, bird plane, yeah.
I don't know where we got this. Do you know?
I don't know, but it's not from Shopee, I can tell you that.
No.
Shopee doesn't exist at this point in time.
Yeah.
Every time we had to buy something, we had to find it somewhere.
Okay, my hypothesis is kite shop at East Coast Park, where we were renting bikes.
Perhaps.
I
have no recollection of where I bought this kite. At this point in time, when I was trying to date girls, I remember buying a lot of kites because I would bring girls to the Marina Barrage.
Yes.
Hey, now that the secret's out there, the secret's
It's okay, we're married now. So
We're married now, yeah. Actually, I think all the girls I've ever dated, I've definitely bought a kite and I've said like, let's go kite flying at Marina Barrage, except my wife.
No, okay, that's not wrong.
Because she's special.
There was the starter kit was super simple: a kite, a card, and something from Marks and Spencer.
Yes, Marks and Sparks. Exactly. Yeah, and a good brunch place. Just need to know a couple good brunch places, and I think you're quite set.
Okay, what do you have?
Wow, this one is a real throwback. And I'm very embarrassed about it because like my hair looks like absolute shite here. This is at a Threadless event. So Threadless is a OG dropshippers.
Are they dropshippers?
I mean, do they make their shirts by themselves?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I mean, they had the model on lock where it's like there are a few designers making stuff, then you print to order the thing, and then
Yes.
it gets shipped over to you in like a month or some shit like that, right?
Yes. Okay.
And my hair is just so ass here, but we went to this event where we liked threadless tees.
Yeah.
Back then, it was like the in thing.
They came to Singapore. Actually, they pop up in Singapore.
And they had a pop up. And then there was a thing where they said you can graffiti our wall.
Yeah.
And we are rebels. And we will do anything for graffiti.
Yeah.
So we've only done graffiti here. I just want to let the record show. Have you done graffiti anywhere else? I've never held a spray can.
Never. Yeah. I think they're only then lah. Yeah.
So they said do whatever you want. And at first I drew a dick.
I was gonna say, like, have you seen the eye on Elliot?
I drew a dick here. And I was like, okay, that's kind of rude. So we wrote my name, Elliot. And then John came in and it was like, there's an N and a John.
Why do you make your two L's dicks also?
Wait, what? Maybe I drew 3 dicks. I mean, okay, this I don't remember. The I, 100% I was thinking draw a dick.
For sure.
But that was a public event, right?
Yeah. And there was alcohol, so it was crazy. So they rented out, this was a time where like nobody cared about ROI, right?
Yeah.
They rented out Fort Canning Park. They gave out free flow vodka. Do you remember we had free flow vodka? We were very buzzed at that point of time.
I'm definitely buzzed here. I wouldn't make this face without...
Our gang sign is the same though. In that video and the
I think at that point in time, we are very interested in the... What's that called when you turn the gun sideways?
kill shot.
Kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, shout out to Eminem. Like, you know, but no, it wasn't from that song, but yeah. But really, the turning your gun sideways was a gang sign thing.
Some date night.
Hey, dude, we actually have Twitter over here as well.
Yeah.
Which doesn't exist anymore.
The platform formerly known as Twitter.
But yeah, dude.
Oh, and dude, PwC also sponsored.
Oh my god, it says PwC. Okay, you know, that's another friend of ours, One Wenchuan. It's a PwC. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, one of the big fours. Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah. Great photo, guys.
Really a throwback down memory lane.
Oops. I guess a throw, right?
Yeah. No.
Starting a business together. You want to tell that story?
Because we're still living it, and that's why it's the hardest to get retrospect from. In 2018, I remember us. I knew that Three Potatoes was gonna like close.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure. Me, Aaron, and Janice, we had our chats about like the future of the channel, and we're like, hey, I think let's move on lah. Let's go and do other stuff.
Fair.
Very fun times, right? We had a great time, but YouTube wasn't the place that we wanted to be on anymore. And I don't want to get a full-time job. Like, I was like, I am slave to no man.
I will be a part of the system.
I will not be a part of the system. I only throw things on the ground, okay? So I said, I'm gonna make a board game and I'm gonna sell this thing. At that point in time, I'm in love with board games. John and I, as a side gig, already made our own board game for our Christmas present. Yeah, we made a board game. One day I should bring it out. We made a board game for our friends for Christmas, and we sat down and played for it for like 4 hours. And that itself has its own story because it tracks most of our lives up to that point.
Yeah, it's our life as a board game.
It's our life as a board game, which is quite fun. Monopoly style or something like
Game of life.
Game of lifestyle.
Yeah,
Game of lifestyle, yeah. So I went to all the boys and I sat down with a slideshow deck. I was like, Sharks, do I have a proposition for you? Are you sick and tired of me saying I don't want to get a full-time job? Well, here's my idea. I want to make a board game studio.
Yeah.
And I did this, right? I think I've shared this before, but I did it because I knew at that point we had one friend who
wanted out of his job.
wanted out of his job.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really like the thing he was
going anywhere.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, I'd probably find some kindred spirit in him in trying to just start something.
Yeah.
I mean, no pun intended. And I went to all the boys because obviously you need some sort of investment. And prior to this, we actually did another business. We did a kendama.
Oh, we did kendama. Yeah, it's right there.
Another business is cereal, which John still runs to this day. But yeah, we did that. So I was thinking it'd only be fair and nice to approach all the boys and say like, who would like to invest in my business? And out of everyone, I didn't expect John to be the one who calls me and go like, hey, you know what, but I think I want in. I was like, dude, you are on this like absolute great track at PNG. He's built up most of his media career in marketing. joining big firms and, you know, is rising the ranks. I was like, are you sure you want to do this with me? And I don't know what your perspective is with me, you can share with me after this. But I was like, wow, he really, really wants to join. And the conviction that he shared with me, I think was like really nice.
There were a couple of reasons. I think that at that point of time, 2018, we were 27. We had just come back from our great Hanoi trip.
Oh, Hanoi, yeah. Hanoi Sucks. That's the album on my IG.
Our title of the trip. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, good one.
And then I think Elle's idea just like struck me. I feel like it was a stage of life where I didn't have that many commitments. I just started dating my wife. We hadn't had a house on the way. And then like if there were ever a time, okay, so economics, right? Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
To me, the opportunity cost was relatively low. I'll be very, very honest at that point of time, right? In hindsight, it's high, but back then, for what I knew was low. And then Elle gave his whole idea. I was like, oh, wait, opportunity cost is really low. I get to hang out with my best friend. I will be very honest, 6 years on, that I was having trouble with my boss at work. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I remember Elle came down, I was at Metropolis, Buena Vista. He came down and sat with me at the Starbucks and he said, are you sure you want to do this? You know, you're going to give up this opportunity. This building is so good. You know, it's so nice here. There's a lot of money. I don't know if this will work. And he sat with me at Starbucks and I was like, yeah, I don't change my mind when I am convicted with something. Yeah, so then we started.
Yeah, that was really intense. There was even a time when I think John had to convince me because I was having cold feet at some point. And we were in my old office in Toa Payoh, and I was like, are we sure we should be doing this? I mean, it's a really huge risk. And yeah, we have some money, you know, some capital to kick us off, but like, how if it doesn't work out? Then he's like, yeah, you don't try, don't know, you know? Just jump into it. I mean, we have safety nets, we are young, just try. And 6 years on, we're not doing board games anymore, but we haven't stopped working with each other ever since. Now we just do way more things. Like,
I think we work more with each other these days than not. I think we work on more things together, right? Whether it's the podcast or like Connected or SS.
That's true.
I've learned how to play Flesh and Blood. I also learned how to play Pokemon.
Hell yeah. Great hobbies.
We shouldn't pick up Magic the Gathering.
Oh no, that's a cash thing.
So it's crazy story. So after Elle and I made our board game of our friends, this was in 2010 for like our 20th birthday or something.
Something like that.
I remember like we were going to your house every Friday, Saturday. I'll go to Elle's house, and we have this like custom card maker. And we're writing lore and stories. So this teacher offended us. Okay, he's the bad boss.
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy. Yeah. Okay, this guy was
this
guy scammer. This was my bully in school. We had a Justin Bieber card. You know.
Justin Bieber. We actually watched Justin Bieber grow up.
We did actually.
What the heck, man?
And Ludacris for all that. Yeah. So after we were done with the board game, which was like 700 cards, there were so many cards, we cut everything ourselves. I posted on Facebook, hey man, we should start a board game, 2010, right? Hey man, we should start a board game company. What a dumb idea. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, we literally commented, what a dumb idea.
Yeah, they all comment, what a dumb idea. It's like 2010, yeah.
We never saw this resurface until much later.
Like maybe a year or two ago, COVID.
Dude, I think it's only during COVID when you say like, hey, check out this memory. And I look at it, I'm like, what the F, dude? Wow, that thing is actually hilarious.
Yeah, so that's how we started the company.
Yeah.
Not a board game company anymore, but
now we do a lot of digital content, I suppose.
Yeah.
Creative marketing. What do we not do actually? Like we've actually embarked on so many different projects together.
Yeah.
And I think this is just another creative outlet for us to kind of expand that, right? One of our pastimes is talking shit. Meaning like, and when I say talk shit, I mean like going down crazy rabbit holes of ideas.
Yeah.
Some of them see the light of day, like a board game company. Some of them don't see the light of day. This podcast is one of those things that just for shits and giggles, you're like, hey, we should just do this.
Yeah, we went to Cat Ride in KL when they had this idea.
And having that come together and how do I say, just for us to be like, you know, we should just try it. And there's so many podcasts in the world already, but even if it's just for us to sling some ideas around, make something that we genuinely appreciate, I think that's all that matters.
And I don't know where this will take us, but I'm pretty excited.
I'm pretty excited as well.
our producer Nira has handed us these cards, and we're supposed to play a game of Would You Rather. So we've not seen these questions before. All right, so I'll read it to you, bud, and you can let me know your thoughts. Would you rather wear a lanyard that narrates your mood out loud, or a smartwatch that vibrates violently every time you zone out in a meeting?
I would like the latter, please. Vibrating watch.
Yeah.
I don't think I zone out that much anymore. It's very difficult at our age to zone out at a meeting because you're chairing the meeting most of the time.
Where are you wearing the watch?
In the place where the sun don't shine. Well, but then we're ineffective because you won't get the pleasure from it. Yeah. Only if I zone out. But it might incentivize me to zone out. No, you know what? I'm just wearing it as per normal. But I think one of the greatest parts about running your own business is that you don't really have time to zone out anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess, double-edged sword.
Okay, I can give a business answer for mine as well. So mine is the latter too. I think that the work that we do sometimes doesn't allow you to show your emotions. So we call it forthrightness, right? Like I think there's something in the work that we do where you kind of have to, I won't say put on a guard, but you have to manage your emotions.
Yeah.
So having a lanyard that narrates my mood and goes like, oh, this guy, I hate this guy. I can't believe I'm seeing this guy again.
Yeah, true. You have to mask a lot, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll take the vibrator any day.
Although for me, it'd be quite helpful because people will not misunderstand my meeting face.
Yes.
I have this thing called meeting face, which is really terrible, where sometimes if someone gives me a really difficult question, I end up frowning and
It's El's thinking face. So
yeah, I really get very growly. I've learned to control it more in the past couple of years.
Yeah. Okay, great question.
Okay, so I think what we want to focus on for this part of the show is what our working dynamic is like. Like, what's it like working together as best friends?
That's a good one, actually.
It's very weird. I mean, not very weird for me to say out loud that you're my best friend, but it's something that we say a lot when we come to business relations. I'm like, oh, this is my partner and best friend John, or
it's part of the introduction.
It's part of the introduction for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And how do you think that's been like for you in the working world?
It's a great question because I've had different partners in businesses and everyone tells me don't work with your best friend. Yeah. Right? But I think we are able to strive that balance between being friends and being objective about the business. And it goes back to something you told me very, very early on. You told me John, you know what? If one day we disagree and we have to pick the business of the friend or the friendship, we'll just close, start something down. Then I was like, okay, cool. To me, it's we just continue being ourselves. We know the direction we want the business to be, which is objective, and just everything falls in place. I guess it sums up to a bit of luck, a bit of skill, a high percentage concentrated power of will. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, great quote. I generally feel that's been the cornerstone of our friendship. It's always I trust your decision to make things to the best of your ability. It's not about, and here's what I like about our working dynamic is that it can be quite egoless. I know that if you say something about what's happening at work, it's really because that's the best way. As Vince McMahon would say, it's best for business, right? And I believe in doing what's best for business too, but if it comes in the way of me having a more in my social life, it will affect me a lot. Yeah. I rather just be hey, I'm good. I don't need to. Money can be earned anywhere, basically. Is my stance.
And I want to go back to two words you said, which is trust and decision.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like this goes both ways for us, that we trust each other to make a decision, but we also trust each other that if we weren't sure of the decision, we'd consult each other.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think we've ever spoken about it overtly before, but there's this understanding, because I know you've come out and say, hey bud, what do you think of this? And I would go to you and say, hey bud, I'm thinking of this, what do you think of it? It's unprompted. I've worked with so many people that I have to go and ask them and say, hey, you want to tell me what your thought process is? And I've never had to ask you what your thought process is. You come to me and say, this is my thought process, I'm unsure, what do you think?
Yeah. And I think there's a proactiveness. To be very fair, this is one of the businesses where it really is a brainchild of both of us. What the business is today is really something that you and I have worked on and negotiated on for a long time. When I say negotiated, I mean it's not like we've been talking about it. It's like we've been Lego bricking it together for a very long time. So the investment in it emotionally is very on par, I feel.
Yes.
And because of that, it really gives us a lot of opportunities to be flexible and dynamic about the way we communicate about the business. And that's hard. That's hard, I think, when you don't really, when you work with your best friends in general, but you don't have that kind of communication style.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Like, some people have a very passive communication style.
Yeah.
Ours is, for our whole lives, very active. It's like, got problem, just like, hey dude, I feel like this is a problem. And, oh, okay, cool.
But I don't think I was like that. I think the more I hung out with you, the more I grew into that kind of like communicator. You know, I don't
even know if that's me, dude. I think like it's our friend group, as we kind of like premised the show, has always been about doing nothing together. And I think when you do nothing together, a lot of times you end up talking for whatever, you know, like you will just say whatever's on your mind or happening, because what else are you doing?
Should we have named the podcast Doing Nothing Together?
Doing Nothing Together. Okay, I do feel like there's a podcast out there called Do Nothing Together.
Probably.
How many of them have been friends since 1998?
Yeah, dude.
To be fair, that's a bit of a misnomer also, but
And not even Theo Von and what's his face, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to touch on the social element, just one last bit, right? I think that the more we've done business, the more we've become friends. I don't know if you feel that way. We've hung out more.
Yeah.
Like you told me this a while back, that there will be a point in time where the memories of our friendship are more occupied by the memories we have shared as start something than pre-start something. And I think we're coming to that inflection point where most of our adult working life is start something, then not, you know?
Yeah. It's gonna be like, for me, it's always very phasal. Like, I'll think of it as like, oh, my primary school memories of John, my secondary school memories of John, my JC uni experiences, my army days, early working days. Now it's like the block hasn't stopped yet, so I don't have that retrospect, and it's going to continue, because as a form of time, think about tertiary years. That's like 3 years max, right? 3-4 years. Dude, this has been 6 years. That's longer than your secondary school block. It's longer than your poly uni block.
Actually, after this year, it will be longer than any other block.
Than any other block.
In my life.
Absolutely,
yeah, we're
right?
dragging this out.
Yeah, we're really like prolonging this thing, and because of that, you will end up just having a larger sort of like memory allocated to that experience.
I think that's been the working dynamic that we've really had.
Yeah. True.
I know we set this out to like just talk hop.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's almost a reflective process.
100%.
Let's reflect, right? What's one pivotal moment in the 6 years?
Pivotal moment in the business? I think probably taking a loan. Taking a loan is an insane thing, okay?
Yeah.
Number one, I don't think when I started this business, my impression of us is that owing money sucks.
Yeah.
I hate owing money. I don't mind people owe me money, and that's very abusive, but I'm okay with people owing me money, but borrowing money is always this huge taboo. So when we took a loan for the business, because COVID was, imminent and all that, I was like, wow, I'm really in the deep end with this guy. Like, you, me, and Daryl, because like those are the partners, right? We have to put our name down and guarantee that we'll pay this back by hook or by crook.
5 years.
5 years. And I was like, that's a commitment. That's the biggest commitment at that point in time compared to anything I've ever done. So
the loan.
A loan, right? Yeah, and I knew that this was something which I've seen money make and break friendships. So for me, I was like, please don't let this get in the way. Yeah. So the biggest I think element for me was, if we took that loan and we could get through it, and I saw how we managed that loan across the years and how we to finance it back, right? I would say that process helped cement a lot of the trust, and it robustified, I don't think that's a word, but robustified the friendship that I had with you. Yeah. Because it's like caring for a baby.
A 5 year.
$100,000 baby.
Yeah, and okay, I'll make mine short, right? So like, it's not far from you.
Yeah.
For me, it was when we offered April a full-time contract. And I'll tell you why. we were committed to hiring a full-timer. And there's a parallel between hiring a full-timer.
True.
I know Yang was a full-timer, but more for the board game side, right? But like we were committed to hiring a marketing full-timer, right? So there's a parallel between hiring a full-timer and taking a loan. In both cases, you're taking a long view on the business.
Yeah.
And I think to me, both moments are similar because it meant like, look, this is not 1 year, this is not 2 years. When I hire a full-timer, and I think you share the same view, right? We're not having them for 1 or 2 years. I hope unlikely, but I hope they retire with us. You know? Like they hang out with us, we grow old, we have some fun, have some memories, right? Like our friendship. So in a very similar way, I think, in a very parallel way, I think hiring a full-timer and taking a loan were pivotal moments in the long view we had about the business.
True. Big true. Big true.
Big true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Ha ha ha. What if a theme song played every time you entered a room?
Oh, it's not would you rather?
Yes. What would it be? It's more like a hot mic question, you know?
Oh my goodness.
Dude, okay, so John and I are big fans of wrestling. So this is such a great question. Titantron in the background.
I don't know.
They play your song, you run in to intercept
Yeah.
my match as I'm getting like someone's throat holding me there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You talking like that one?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've gotten choked, but don't quote me on that. What theme song would play as you rush onto the stage? Every time you enter a room, wow. So like, imagine coming to the office Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Bam.
Okay, I give it a shitty answer, which it really depends on my mood, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to pick one, I think I pick Rock You Like a Hurricane by the
Dude, that is such a good one. That's such a good one.
Because I feel like when you think about Titantron songs, right?
Yeah.
The opener is really important.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
opening beat. You can't have a slow build up.
Yeah. Rock you like a hurricane. I think that's a good one.
I mean, I open the door and it goes, here I am. And then okay, meeting starts.
You exactly.
Yeah.
There's this one song I don't know the full title of the song, but there are moments where I've had dreams where I walk into a place and I can hear this song in the background, and it goes like I am the one and only. Damn, dude, it's such a banger when you feel like the machismo of like.
It's just walking in the room.
Yeah, very Kool-Aid style, like bam, and then this song plays out. Hell yeah.
Very cool. Great question.
Great question.
Great question. So relevant.
That have this very 80s power rock vibe.
Yeah. Can you imagine one of those slates or something like that?
Yeah. Now that we've actually embarked on this, what should we be expecting? Okay, what do you want for the podcast?
Okay, I want a sponsor. I want someone to sponsor me a bubble tea every week over here, 30% sugar, because that's according to HPB, alright. What am I hoping? Honestly, I just hope we get to make a few. It sounds dumb, right? But I hope we get to make a few of these and I am reminded of some of the great memories I've had with you. And we make new ones.
True. I feel like this, for me, is both a celebration of all our conversations to me are super entertaining, even for ourselves.
Yeah.
So I hope to be able to like cultivate that into a space. But because it's been so creatively charged, I think exploring that creative space in more productive ways and having a production team behind it, having some budget, in order to elevate the ideas might be a fun thing for us to do. We always like taking ideas from like 1 to 10, right? So this is my way of saying like, hey, how if we had some money and taking some of our dumb shit and amping it to like 8 or 9 or 10. Because we've never done that before. We've always talked about a lot of dumb things we want to do. Like, I don't know, we want to set fireworks off, which we've never done.
And we start a board game company.
And it's like, we've been saving up for a while. Like, you and I have been saving up. We're very frugal dudes.
Yeah.
So now that we've had a little bit of a piggy bank, I crack it open and I said, hey, let's just do some dumb stuff and like see how it goes.
Yeah.
So I think creative energy is one. The second bit that I'm hoping for really is to maybe bring some of our friends on as well to like reminisce on the past. Like personal friends, not like big celebrity folks. Not like special guests like Benjamin King, you know what I mean? I would like no, Ben, please don't. Ben, I can't afford you. Yeah. This is actually a personal free endeavor, right? But like just getting some of our personal life friends who I think have very interesting stories. I think a lot of our network connections who are not in the media space, their stories are insane. and having them on so that we can talk about their insane ideas, how they've come to let it be.
Yeah.
That could be a fun bit
That
to
would be
explore.
fun.
Yeah. And the last bit of it for me is also, I think the podcast is really just meant to be like a playground for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love for this to be a place we can splash paint, have a stupid segment on a board.
See what sticks.
Yeah, see what sticks lah, whatever lah.
Yeah.
Just you and I having fun and an excuse to take 3 to 4 hours of our time every week to do something.
Okay, I have one more for the podcast. I hope that 6 months from now, obviously we'll still be doing this.
Yeah.
The anecdotes we talk about were formed in the last 6 months. So which means we've created new memories.
Yeah.
So I hope that this is not a nostalgia pill.
Yeah,
This is a growing library of stories.
True. Yeah.
So that's my goal.
Yes. One of the things I don't want it to be is I don't want to cover the GE. I think, it's damn scary if your podcast covering the GE itself.
Oh, the GE?
The GE, because we're doing this just after the GE results, right? And I've watched all the other podcasts in Singapore have to do GE coverage.
Oh, yeah.
That's damn scary.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
I don't think I'll be ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready.
I don't think I have the skill for that. Yeah.
So I think that's what we intend to do, and I hope for you guys back home as well. Thanks for tuning in. Never thought I'd be doing something on YouTube again, but here we are.
Yeah. I don't think many people can see us if they're listening on Spotify.
All right, see you on the next one, and listen to you all in the next. No, hear us out in the next one.
Something,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Outro.